Hi there. This is a supplement to the Growing Online course that you hopefully just recently um, took at your local extension office. And it's going to go a little bit more in depth and show you what you're going to see if you take the route of trying to start a new basic website for yourself. As a caveat, before I even start, I'm going to use a particular online service called Weebly. Uh, there are a number of services like this. I have experience on a number of them, and this is the one that I think gives a good blend of ease of use with quality results, but you can get really high quality, great results from a number of different options. So this isn't an endorsement of that program. It's just showing you how a lot of the programs are going to be very similar in their interfaces and drag and drop. I mean, I think you'll be, if you haven't played around with these before, you'll be really intrigued to see just how user-friendly they can be. Just want to make sure, check my sound here. It looks like it's working just fine. So let's go ahead and get started here. This is just going to be, I'm going to actually open it up in a browser and do this right along with you. So I'll start off here. Going to www.weebly.com. This is what you'll see. And I created a, excuse me, you'll need an email address to do this. You don't have to use your main email address. You can create one specifically for this. If you have a business email address that you typically use, it's probably not a bad idea to use it here because they will send you things. If you forget your password or if there's something wrong with your site, they'll contact you through that email address. But for the purposes here, I've just created one. So we're going to call this Growing Online. We're going to say go CCD. And again, I created this at Gmail. Let's go CCD UKY. UKY at gmail.com. And we're going to create, we're making this up this time. Whatever you want make sure I typed it here. As you can see, this is not well rehearsed. I haven't made sure that everything works perfectly because I want it to be as authentic as possible to how things are going to go for you. Okay, so if you want to save your password, you can. In this case, they're taking us in. They want us to select a theme. These are the different categories of themes here at the top. I think that for most people's purposes, the business and personal pages are good options. But you're going to be able to customize everything, and you also shouldn't feel like you're going to be stuck with this because you can change the theme later if you decide that you don't like it after all. I'm going to try to go through, let's see, go back to the business page. I'm going to pick something that's relatively simple. How about this one? This is exactly how it's going to be for you. You just choose a theme that you like. This is letting me explore it as if it were a website. You can see I haven't even selected it yet. But I can edit things. So I'm scrolling all the way down through here. There's the menu. I can play around. And let's just say, for instance, I don't like this one. I think it's boring. I don't like it. I can go back immediately and just try this one instead. I can see, okay, here's the menu here. Here's scrolling. All these pictures look so nice. Again, you're going to be able to customize this, get rid of this fairly easily. But it's all very ready to roll. I'll note everything we've done so far and everything we're going to do during this episode or during this video is completely free. Okay. This is, and you can change the menu titles, you can get rid of pages, etc. I'm not trying to beat that horse too much, but so yeah, I think I like the first one better. So I'm going to go back here. Let's go ahead and expand this. So I've decided this is what I want. I understand that I am not married to this. If I decide I want to change it later, I can and go back and select a different one. I just hit start editing. Hold on here. Realized this wasn't showing up in your screen, I don't think. So I just hit start. I just picked a theme and I hit start editing. And now I'm in my builder here. Let's refresh and see what happens. Okay. As you can see, again, I'm doing this off the cuff here. I'm sorry about that issue with the screen share. It kind of messed up, but we're back on track here. So for right now, this is asking me, telling me to choose my website domain. So the domain is just the web address. This is the address where people will find your website online, blah, blah, blah. And they give you different options. This first one here, use a subdomain of Weebly.com, means that, so in our case, we're going to call this Growing Online CCD. I think I already made a separate profile. So let's call this goccd.weebly.com. This is free. Now, if I went down here and I looked and I tried to do goccd.com, I can do that as long as it's available. However, that's going to charge me money to do that. You might get to that point. You can always do that later. So for now, I'm just going to go with goccd.weebly.com, leave it free. And while I'm editing, I can spend as much time as I want now editing without spending a dime, getting my website up and ready to roll. So I'm going to just do that. I would try to get as close to whatever you want your final URL to be here, just because sometimes it can be hard to change those later. So, okay. So now I have created the site, but it's not visible to anyone yet. Whenever I get it to the point where I want to make it visible, I'm going to hit publish, and it's going to literally publish it out into the world. But as I'm helping you here, you can see it's also trying to help you here. So we have this little get started by dragging an element to your page. I'm just going to orient you here. Right now we're in what they call the builder, and that's labeled by build. And on this side over here, we have a number of different elements. So for instance, if I wanted to put a picture, I'm just going to click here and drag it. Now I can drop an image wherever I want. If I want to drop an image right there, I can. It's going to load. Now I can click here and upload an image. We're not going to do that just now, but you can see how easy that was. Drag and drop, very, very simple. Generally, they call this style or these different styles of designers the WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. So there's a number of buttons over here, and they'll let you know when something's new. If you want to create a section, this is all going to be up to you later on. This little lightning bolt means that it is a premium feature that is not free. Everything else is free. You could put images, you could put slideshows, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. While we're in here, I'll just go ahead and show you. I'm going to change the name of this to Growing Online. Okay. This was something that I came up against when I was playing around with this one time before. I think we'll have to go back and figure out later how to bring this up so that it's centered on here, but we'll just leave it like that for now. All right, so that is the builder, the basics of the builder. This will be any page that you go in and edit, this will be available to you. If you want to put in text boxes, if you want to do any number of those different things, you can play around with that. Let's just see real quick. Yeah, let's not play around with that just now. If this were me and I was really working on it, this would bother me and I would want to move this up. But last time I did it, I just did a simple Google search and it told me how to do it. For now though, let's leave it like it is. You can see down here, all of their filler text is still here. We can go in here and very quickly say Growing Online is a program offered. You can see it has through the University of Kentucky Center No points for typing speed for me. But just as easy as that, I've changed this from here up to look customized. All right, so let's work our way across here on the top. We're in the builder. We can always go back to the builder if we want. Pages. These are the pages that exist. So I'm not going to have a services page. So for me, I just clicked on services. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that page. You'll notice I'm doing something here that can't really be taken back. So it's asking me, are you sure you want to do that? Yes, I am definitely sure I want to get rid of the services page. And notice back here, kind of in the white haze, services is there now. When I delete it, it goes away. Now, let's say I don't want services. I actually want to talk about my products in the pages here. I'm in pages. The plus sign means I want to add a page. I want to add it and I want to call it products. That seems fair enough, right? You can change, you can see, I think these will change in real time. Yeah. So if you don't want a header, for instance, if you wanted to just go straight into a picture or text or something like that, you can do that. Or if you do want a header, it'll say here, you know, there you got a header very similar to your home page. Splash is like a big background image, large format, can be very effective depending on what you're doing. So for now, let's just say no header to make it a simple page. And we'll talk about that another time. Visibility. Do you want everybody to be able to see it, or do you want this to be a private page that someone has to have a password for? Right now, we want it to be public because we want everybody to know about all the amazing things we're doing. If you don't want it to show up, you can see showing up under here because of the width of the window. If you don't want it to show up here, you can hide it in navigation and it'll go away. If you do want it to show up, there. We do want it to show up for now, so I'm going to hit done. Now, another feature here, I'm not trying to overwhelm you, with the pages, let's say our products actually, it's sort of a subcategory of our about page. You can see the crosshair, or the whatever you want to call it, the 4-point arrows. You can take this and you can drag it up, and it'll have changed over here. So I'll do that again, I'll drag it back. This will change the order of your menu. You can also take it and drag it over, and what that does is it makes it a subpage of about. Going back over here, let's just hover on about, and now we have a product subcategory. Let's say our contact information is also a subpage. We slide it over just a little. I'm just clicking and dragging it over, and now under about, we have multiple drop-downs. It really is every bit as easy as that. Okay? So that is the pages menu. You can create these as much as you want. If you want more of a blog style page, let's go ahead and add one just to see what it looks like. Our blog. Let's do a header on that one, and we'll have it show up out here. You can see when I hit done, it should change the title to our blog. Yeah, perfect. So the nice thing about I think about this browser, or this format, whatever you want to call it, of website builder, is you can actually click on here as if you were clicking on the website, and it'll take you to our blog page. And this has some built-in stuff. If you create a blog post and any number of different things available there. That's just a different style of page. Now I realized, I don't actually want a blog. I think I want to get rid of that. I can either hide it until I have a chance to mess with it the next time, or I can just outright delete it. And I don't want to have a blog, so I'm going to delete it. Okay? If you have questions, you can leave them in the comments under the YouTube channel. We'll be monitoring it. Theme. Let's just say I don't like the theme that I've chosen. This is where I would go. Click on change the theme. Now, I actually like my theme. I realize, okay, I clicked on this one. I want to preview this one. It'll show me what my website would look like if we changed the theme. If I wanted to go with it, I would choose it, but I don't. So I'm going to hit cancel and I'm going to hit close. The point again, you're not wed to this format if that's something that you want. I don't like that. You can see I'm just playing around with the different options that they give you and going from there. If I wanted, this is one of those things where I could go in here and I can manually change certain aspects of this. I can remove the formatting, I can increase the size, but site-wide, if I want to change the fonts, I can do that in here. I'm making the settings for the whole thing. And as you can see, hopefully, the blue line, you know, if you look around here, for instance, this is, when I hover here, it's telling me what area I'm affecting when I make the changes. So let's say I really like that font, but I think that I want it to be regular instead of bold. I've changed that, and what has happened is everywhere on my website, let's go to the about here. That's not exactly a good example. Let's go back. Everywhere, let's see. Let's go back. General, paragraph titles. Okay, you can see here, let's say I just want to, for whatever reason, I want to make that red or whatever color that you would describe that to be, burnt, kind of burnt orange. If I change that there, if I go to my about page, for instance, it's changed the color here, the standard color. Now, if I change it back to black, it changes it back to black everywhere. The advantage here is that you don't have to go through, if you decide later on, I want to change, I don't like that font, I think it looks a little too stuffy, I want something more modern. You don't have to go and change every single one. You can change it to that immediately. Okay, so this is, again, this is in the, let's go back, under theme. Let's see what theme options is. That's a little more advanced. We'll leave that alone for now. Yeah, let's go back to our home page. Again, you can, out here you can click as if the site were there to begin with. Let's see, site title. This is, I'm going to show you an example here. I talk about, there's two things you can do. You can either play around and see if you can figure out how to do it, or you can go online and try to find. Let me see if I can do this quickly. Weebly site title center vertically. Let's see. Trying to remember. Aha. So I didn't do a good job of Googling. That was a terrible example of how to find it by Googling, but I did come back and play around. So what I did was, in this example, I clicked on the area. This is like stumbling your way through. I clicked on the area where it is, and I hit edit back. Well, first I clicked this one, and it's definitely not, I don't want to mess with it because it's going to change everything. But I tried edit background, and just because it says advanced doesn't mean that you're going to do anything crazy. Let me move this up so we can see. So I clicked advanced, and there's this content aligned thing. It has it aligned to the bottom here. I'm going to click it aligned to the middle, and now suddenly it's centered vertically. I don't know why they don't, I don't know. There's a number of reasons, I guess, why they do that. But you can also change the adjustment here. This is, I feel like that's a little bit more of a contemporary look. I don't know. You can center it. You can justify it if you want. Go left. But these silly little things, I think they have a major visual impact, and you want to make sure that you can change that as much to what you want as possible. The site title here, an option that you have is, well, you can just have it as text, or you have the option here of adding a logo. And this goes into the uploads feature, and this is going to be the same regardless of whether you're adding an image somewhere else or you're adding it in this case. So I'm going to go here, go to my Dropbox. I hope this is helpful and not boring to just follow along with what I'm doing. This would be anywhere on your computer, wherever you have your pictures. For instance, I know I have some logos in here somewhere. Let me see. Let's try CCD logo. Well, let's see. Again, if you have questions about how to do this, I didn't get really as prepared as I should have been here. Well, what the heck? I'll just go with this one for now. I have to upload it. You can see it's working down here. It says upload complete, and now my logo is here. If you have a logo, it'll put it in there automatically for you. I was looking for the CCD logo. I think I have it saved in a different place that I couldn't find. But if you decide you don't want that, if you want to edit the actual photo itself, I believe that's what this is. You can do that. I'm going to get rid of this. This is our old logo. And I'm going to get rid of it. I'm sure I want to remove it. Yes. Again, it'll always ask you. And now I'm back to text. That's just a simple little example of how to hover on things, play around. They've tried to make it as easy as possible for you. There are things where it's frustrating and whatever else, but let's see, what else can I show you? Background on this one, for instance, it's a nice solid color. If that's something you like, great. You can change the color. You can bring this here, and alternatively, if you have you can find these online. Like, I know what I have written down what the standard UK colors are. I have written down what the standard, whatever. So you can find these colors, or you can just play around in the Finder selector thing here. And you can look up, if you're familiar with RGB values, I'm fairly certain you can look up like an equivalence, but you can always just play around. However, in this case, I think I'm going to change. I don't want it to be a color. I want it to be an image. Now, if you wanted a video, you have to pay for a premium. Right now, we're not doing that. We're going to go with an image. Oh, and as cute as that is, I'm going to do something different. I want to upload an image. In this case, I do have something kind of pulled out and prepared here. On the desktop, I have this. I'm a big bread baker, and I want to use that for my background. This will be whatever you want it to be. All right, now you can see this image is maybe a little bit small for this. It's a little blurry, but I'm going to go with it for now. If you want to do a filter, you can play around with it, lighten it, give it a second, it'll lighten it. If you want to, I don't know what Gotham is. I assume it's a bat symbol. Dark, it looks very Instagram to me. And let's say, okay, we're good with that. It's going to save it, and it's going to bring my text out. I like that. I can see the color pretty well as compared to something like this. That's really hard to see, right? So I would either want to change my font, or I would want to go back in here and edit this. I'm under image here. If I wanted to replace it, I could get something different, or if I just want to edit it, I can get rid of my Gotham filter and instead go back to the lighten filter. Save it. Maybe this will work. Maybe it won't. I still think that's not great. let's do light gray. Worse. Let's do, where is the solid, just white? What happened to just plain white? Okay, for right now, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Picture of that bread, a little bit fuzzy in the background. This is a good time for me to say, if you don't take the pictures to have them for your site, that's gonna make your job very, very difficult. Having good pictures available is something that you can't really put a price tag on. There are places online where you can get stock pictures, and that was actually good back before everybody knew about it. Now that everybody knows about it, you see the same 5 or 6 pictures popping up everywhere. And the people who were the early adopters of that are now, I think, shifting away from things like Pexels and other places, because you can only see the same field of lettuce a few times before you realize someone's getting it from the exact same spot. I like using my own pictures as much as I can. And everything that I do, all of the pictures that I have, I'll just keep doing this instead of just talking. Let's go back to the builder here, and let's just work on this main page. All the pictures that I have, I take with my camera phone, and I have an iPhone 5. It's back before they got so huge. And I do a lot of editing in Instagram and a number of other things. Anyway, so I have an image here, and I want to drop it on top of here. So, for instance, so I want this to actually be about our wonderful pretzels. This is obviously a ridiculous example, but I just want to show you. I want to upload. So just show you again one more time. All I did was I dragged the picture thing out here, and let's say I'll go ahead and upload the image. Upload the image, just click on anywhere in that box, upload it from your computer, and we want to have it, it's on my desktop, it's in my photos folder, and here's these beautiful Bavarian pretzels. And they were very good too. Again, this picture is a little blurry. It's not a good example. I've gotten better since I was taking these pictures. But now let's just say, hypothetically, I decided I don't want this, well, there's a number of things we can do. If I want to resize it, I can just drag and drop it in the builder. I can also edit the image, which includes cropping it, for instance. This is because I don't want it to be so wide. I want it to be like that, let's say. Don't want it square. I just undid what I did. I want it to be there, for instance. Okay. Save it. All right, so my cropped image is there now, and if I down here see this square, I can make it bigger. Again, this picture's a little blurry. That's because I have my shaky hands. I was just so excited about the pretzel I couldn't hold my hand still. Let's go ahead and add another one in here just to show you that process one more time. You can see where these blue lines are. That's going to take it where it is. So if I want a full width image, that's how it's going to work. If I decide that I don't want a full width image, all I got to do, see this thing here with the dots on it, I guess that's for your mouse to be able to grip it, grab it, and you can move it. And again, where the blue line is, that's where it'll go. Sometimes it's a little hard to get it to go exactly where you want it to go. For instance, like that. Let's upload another picture. Let's see. Again, this is back before I got as good with the pictures. I just wanted to find a bunch of pictures of the same thing. I'm going to edit the image here. That actually looks, I think that's suggesting this type of cropping. Let's see what happens. Nope, tricked me. So, all right, before I do this, let me go back. So all I'm doing here is I'm over the picture. I just click it once, just left click, normal click it once, and it gives me all of these different options here. If I wanted to replace the image outright, I could do that. If I want to edit the image, I'm going to go ahead and edit it. I'm going to crop it to the same size roughly as the other one. You can see here it's telling me the pixel size of this image. And so if I knew I didn't pay attention to what the other one was, but I'm just going to eyeball it, and you'll all give me the benefit of the doubt. Now, when I leave this here and I hit here to go back, it's going to, I think, let's just make sure, save it and make sure it's going to crop it for me. And that was not really all that close, but you get the point. The other thing you can do here, if you had, let's go ahead and add a bunch of pictures. And also, I'm going to go back in here. And if you go to your crop, you can see it's keeping my whole picture. It's keeping my settings, but the whole picture is still there. So if I click original, it's going to take it back to full width. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to make sure you hit save, because if you don't hit save, it's not going to, if you hit X, it's just going to revert back to the exact way that you just had it. So it's going to go full size. Let me just upload a couple more pictures here while I'm thinking about it. Okay, so all I'm doing here is I'm just clicking on here, upload a photo from your computer. You notice I'm using a lot of pictures because pictures tell a lot. I mean, they're one of the things people get the most excited about. So let's see, this is a nice one. So now, I click on the image. Now, if I wanted to edit it, I could. And there are other editing features here. I didn't really talk about what did crop, but that's a whole nother topic. You can do filters along the lines of Instagram. You can adjust a few things. If I wanted it to be a little brighter, a little darker, whatever. You can adjust the saturation levels, etc. I don't love the photo editing built in here. I think that if you have another way of editing photos, that's great. If you don't, you can play around with it some. But so you can adjust that, but you can also do a couple of different things here. So Lightbox, for instance, what that is if I click what Lightbox is, if you click it and you're actually in here, we're at the point now. I'm going to go ahead and publish this. This is not a grand thing. It's just going to say, okay, cool, whatever. And I'm going to pull up the actual, I am not a robot. Publish it. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go to the site itself. So we know that's www.goccd. And this is whatever yours is going to be, is what you're going to put in. And it's going to take you to my site. So this is how the public will view this. Okay, and remember I turned the light box on. So this here, there's nothing happening, right? But over here, you'll notice the little finger thing has appeared. If I click this, light box means it'll pull it up as just a single thing, a single image. If you want to be able to give people detail, put a big picture there and put what is actually a big picture, but a small kind of thumbnail. That's what Lightbox is. If you click out here, it'll take you right back. You can click the X or you can click outside. This one I did not put the Lightbox on, so I don't have that option. That's just a small thing you can change. And I would recommend once you get to the point where you're messing around with your site a lot, have the builder open here and then have, the actual sort of public consumer view over here. But you need to understand, if you haven't hit publish, this version won't change. This is going to show the most recently published site. I'm going kind of fast here on a lot of this stuff, mainly because you can pause the video and go and mess with your own thing and then come back and watch the video. So another example here of some picture stuff that you can do. If you wanted to link this to something, either on your own website or, like for instance, if you wanted to link it to one of the pages, like if this was about, if I wanted this to link to my products page, I can do that. If you want to align it within the column, you can play around with that. I'm not going to go too far into that. Caption. If you want the caption to say something like, my first attempt at a different slashing technique. Okay. You can see this is popped up here. Oop, right here. If I want to, I can go to advanced here. I thought I could caption. I thought I could change where that appeared, but anyway, and let's say I want this one. I don't want this one to be a light box. I want it to be a link. So I've made all these great changes. I have added a caption. I've added this, but over here, nothing, right? That's because I haven't published it yet. So I'm going to hit publish. I'm going to go over here. And I am, sorry, going to go over here and I'm going to refresh. And now I have my caption here. You can see this is linked. If I click here, it's going to take me to my products page, which I haven't done anything to yet, but you can see up here it's products. So the point here is you should be playing around. You should be thinking about, okay, where do I want where? Having a good plan for this kind of thing, where all the different pages are. I think that is a really good starting point. Because if you just start trying to create things and you'll end up with a whole bunch of pages that you don't realize maybe belong in the same place. Like it's like going back to when you were writing papers in high school and college or whatever. Have an outline of what you are going to do, what you're going to talk about, what you want your page to do, and go from there. I've built a lot of these sites, and the more organized that I was going in, the faster it went and the better the final product was. Don't be afraid to go and Google things. Try to find if someone else has had a similar issue. Play around. You're not going to break anything, I promise. I hope that demystifies it a little bit. When you go, I'm going to go ahead and close this, log out, and then log back in so that you can see what it's going to look like so if you want to log out, you log out here. So I'm going to go back to the Weebly page, and I'm going to log in with the same credentials that I used before. That is okay. Uh-oh. Well, that wasn't good. Let's go to my, apparently, this really is, this really is unrehearsed, I promise. So I forgot my password. It's sending me an email here to reset it. eventually. Again, this is what people are going to see. Whatever you've published is what they're going to. Well, this is going to take forever. Oh, that's why. And I bet. Okay, I had typed in the email address wrong. So this is what you're going to see when you come back in. You're going to don't freak out. You can see here's the name of your site, whatever your site is, that's going to show up there. You can just go here and click Edit Site. That's how you're going to get back into the builder. And the one thing, this will save the changes that you make even if you haven't published it. So your working draft behind the scenes will be saved as you periodically work through it. While I'm here, I'll just go ahead and show you a couple of the other features. So I have all these pictures here that I've added individually. Alternatively, you can add something like a gallery. And what you're going to do is you're going to upload pictures. So I'm selecting several pictures here. I'm going to upload them. It's going to take a minute. And so what this has done now is it's added, and I'm going to add one more just so I have the full complement of pictures. Yeah, fine. So as compared to these different images here, it automatically is sizing them to line up. You can see the lines are very crisp and nice. I'm going to go ahead and publish this, and let's just see what it looks like to the world. So notice it's not there. I'm just going to refresh this page. And now suddenly these are here. I believe gallery inherently light boxes. Yes, it does. And you can see I can look at this picture here, and I'm just clicking my left and right arrows here to scroll through all the pictures. If you wanted a whole bunch of different pictures, you can do that. So gallery is another option you have for putting up some pictures. I'm trying to think here. Okay, yeah. If you want to adjust how many columns there are, you can do that. Let's see what advanced is. Images spacing. You can do captions here to hover. I mean, there's just a whole, you play around with those. And what I'll do is I'll just change the settings, save it, see what it looks like, and go back out here and take a look. And I'll do that, and I'll do like here, and I'll just go back and forth seeing what you like and what you don't like. I'm going to go back here, and I liked it at 3 columns. I thought it looked nice and full. Let's see, what else? Alternatively, you could do it as a slideshow. Wow, lots of different options since the last time I messed with this. I'm going to be boring and do thumbnails on bottom. Continue. I'm just trying to show you how easy this is. And it tells you here, you can select multiple. I did that last time. I didn't think about it. If you hold your control button, if you're on a PC, or your little, it used to be the Apple key that has the little, whatever it is, the curly Q on a Mac, hold that and just click all the pictures that you want to do. Well, keep holding it, scroll down. Okay, I'm going to do that. It's going to upload. Go ahead. I'm just waiting for you can see it'll tell you down here. If your internet is fast, it'll work quick. If it's not, that's okay. I will say the better internet connection you have while you're doing this, the less frustrated you'll become, because stuff will work a lot faster. And I'm going to go ahead. You have options to add captions for each of these. You can link each of these individually. I'm not going to do that right now for the sake of showing you. Oops. not that one, hit save. And now here is our slideshow. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and, again, the same thing I do frequently, publish it, because a lot of times you can't exactly tell what it's gonna look like in that browser, in that builder, I should say. So let's refresh this guy. And now we have a slideshow. And if you wonder if there's a, yeah, there's a thing here. Now, to me, that picture is kind of on the big side. I would be a little nervous because I can't, on my screen at least, and the screen you're seeing, it's not exactly, you can't see the whole thing. Whereas compared to like this one, still, it's a little on the big side. And these pictures are really blurry. I'm sorry about that. On this one, yeah, these are a little on the big side. So I'm curious if we can adjust that. Let's see. I don't know that we can. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. It might not be able to. This is not really going to change the size. So that might be something where that feature doesn't work very well. I don't know. There might be something out there, a way to fix that. This video is quickly going longer than I meant it to. These other things, I would just encourage you to play around with them. Embed code's a way to put a video in. If you have a YouTube video, there's also the YouTube feature. Sometimes, depending on which platform you're on, one of those might work better than the other. Yeah, I don't want to go too much further in explaining a lot of this stuff, but if you're interested in the commerce thing, take a look at the store. I'll probably cover that in a separate video at some point. There's a number of different options available for something like this, but yeah, just play around. If you have questions, you can comment in the comments below and let us know what you liked, what's confusing still, what you'd like to see more of, and we can do that. But good luck, and I hope you're able to get a few things figured out on here.